Once upon a time, in a small coastal town, there lived a girl named Lisa. She always dreamed of traveling and exciting adventures, but life in the small town seemed too calm and predictable. In the summer, when the streets were filled with warmth and the salty sea breeze pleasantly tickled her nose, Lisa often walked along the shore, thinking about the amazing things that could happen to her this season. One evening, as the sunset painted the sky in shades of pink and gold, Lisa noticed a strange object on the beach. It was a small wooden box, adorned with intricate carved patterns. It looked ancient and mysterious. Lisa carefully opened the box and found an old map inside. The map read, "Mysteries await those who dare to seek." Lisa's life changed. Mysteries await those who dare to seek. Lisa's life changed. The map promised something amazing. From that moment on, Lisa's quiet life began to change. She realized that the map could lead her to something amazing. Her heart was racing rapidly because this could be the very adventure she had always dreamed of. And exhilarating. Without a second thought, Lisa decided to follow the map's directions. First, she headed to the old lighthouse that stood at the edge of town. It had long been abandoned and was shrouded in legends. They said that the spirit of an old captain lived there, who lost his ship in a storm and now guards his treasures. Lisa, taking the map and the key, approached it with determination. The door was open and cool. She lit the lantern and began to explore the room. Old paintings and maps of the seas hung on the walls. In one corner, Lisa found an old chest locked with a padlock. She inserted the silver key into the lock and it opened easily. Inside the chest were ancient nautical instruments, captain's log, and another map, which was much more detailed than the first one. She pointed to a small island not far from the shore. Lisa realized that a sea journey awaited her. At the local harbor, she found an old fisherman named Peter, who agreed to take her to the island for a small fee. Peter was always strong and sturdy, his eyes shining with wisdom and understanding. He told Lisa many stories about the sea, about lost treasures and the mysteries it hides. The next morning, Lisa and Peter set off. The sun was just beginning to rise. Lisa and Peter set off on their journey. The sea was calm and the boat gently rocked on the waves. Lisa sensed something unusual on the island. The boat rocked gently as Lisa held the map and gazed into the distance, anticipating the adventure. Upon arriving at the island, Lisa immediately felt that something was unusual. The island seemed deserted and abandoned, but there was a feeling that it held many secrets. In the center of the island were the ruins of an old temple. Lisa stepped closer and saw that the symbols on the walls of the temple matched those on the scroll from the chest. She unrolled the scroll and began to carefully study the symbols. They were talking about an ancient ritual that needed to be performed to find the true treasure. Lisa realized that she was in for something much more important and meaningful than just searching for gold or jewels. Something much more important and meaningful. Following the instructions of the scroll, Lisa began to gather the necessary items for the ritual. She had to walk around the entire island, exploring its hidden corners and finding clues. She met rare birds and saw amazing plants, and felt a connection to nature that she had never experienced before. When all the items were gathered, Lisa returned to the temple and began to perform the ritual. Her heart was pounding, and she didn't know what was waiting for her ahead. But with each step, she felt her worries and fears fade away, giving way to a confident sense that everything was as it should be. Suddenly, the temple began to glow with a soft golden light. Lisa saw the ancient symbols come to life and start moving, forming words and phrases. She realized that this was a message from an ancient civilization that had lived on this island many centuries ago. It was knowledge that could change her life and help her to truly understand the true meaning of her journeys. At the end of the ritual, a small golden sphere appeared before Lisa, radiating warmth and light. Inside the sphere, she saw the reflection of her own heart, and she realized that this was the true treasure. The mysteries of the ancient civilization spoke of the most valuable thing in life. It's the ability to see the beauty and wonders in the world around us, to keep faith in yourself and your dreams, and always move forward. Despite the difficulties, Lisa returned home with a feeling of peace and joy. Her heart was full of gratitude for this amazing adventure. She realized that the greatest treasure she had found, it's the inner light and wisdom that will now guide her through life. Since then, Lisa lived by the new principles. She continued to travel, explore the world, and share her discoveries with others. Her stories inspired people, helping them find strength and faith in themselves. Lisa became a living example of how important it is to follow your dreams and not be afraid of the unknown. Returning to her small town, Lisa found that her discovery had become a topic of discussion among the locals. Her friends and neighbors, inspired by her story, began to look at their lives differently. Many of them also wanted to set off in search of their own treasures, whether it's through new hobbies, travel, or simply seeking inner peace. Lisa often shared her stories and knowledge at meetings in the local library. She talked about ancient civilizations and how important it is to believe in your dreams and not be afraid to seek your happiness. Her words resonated in the hearts of her listeners, and with each passing day, more and more people joined her. One day, a young woman named Anna approached Lida. She told that her brother Alexei had gone on an expedition to the mountains a few months ago, and he hasn't returned since. Anna was sure that her brother was in trouble, and she asked Lisa to help find him. Without a second thought, Lisa agreed. She felt that her new knowledge and experience could be useful in this search. Gathering the necessary supplies and maps, Lisa and Anna set off to the city. The journey was tough and dangerous, but Lisa didn't lose her confidence. She carefully examined every detail on the map and used all her skills to find Alexei's traces. During their incredible journey, they met many amazing people. One of them, an old guide named Ivan, told them about the ancient legends of these places. He spoke of hidden secrets in the mountains and ancient temples that hold powerful artifacts. Lisa realized that their path intersected with yet another ancient mystery. Finally, after many days of searching, Lisa and Anna found Alexei's camp. He was weak and ill, but alive. Lisa used her knowledge of healing herbs to help him regain his strength. Alexei said that he found the ancient temple that Ivan had mentioned, but he was injured during the exploration. Together, they decided to return to that temple to complete Alice's research. The temple was hidden deep in the mountains, and getting to it wasn't easy. But with their combined efforts, they overcame all obstacles. Inside the temple, they were met with amazing discoveries. Ancient manuscripts, artifacts, and symbols that pointed to the existence of an even older civilization. Lisa felt that each discovery brought her closer to understanding something very important. Not only did she help save Alexei, but she also found new friends and like-minded people. Together, they decided to continue the exploration and seek answers to the questions left to them by the ancient civilization. Lisa felt that her life had changed forever. She became not just an adventurer, but also a guardian of ancient knowledge. Her stories inspired even more people, and many of them began their own quests. The little town, which once seemed so calm and predictable, had now become a hub of new ideas and discoveries. Lisa continued her research, and each summer brought her new amazing adventures. Her heart was full of gratitude and joy, for she knew she had found her true calling. She believed that everyone could find their treasure if only they followed their heart and weren't afraid to move forward. Several years passed, and Lisa became a renowned explorer. Her books and stories were read by people all over the world. Her name became a symbol of courage and self-belief. But despite her fame, Lisa remained a simple and kind girl, who was always ready to help and support those who were searching for their path. One day, she received a letter from a distant country. It spoke of a new mystery that awaited to be unraveled. Lisa felt a familiar excitement and anticipation. She knew that a new, amazing journey awaited her. She packed her things and set off, leaving behind a trail of light and hope for everyone. She knew that a new, amazing journey awaited her. She packed her things and set out, leaving behind a trail of light and hope for everyone who believed in miracles. Lisa set off for a distant country located on another continent. The letter led her to a mysterious place known only to a few. It was a city nestled among high mountains, surrounded by dense forests and crystal-clear lakes. There lived a small community that preserved ancient traditions and knowledge. When Lisa arrived in this town, she was greeted with great respect. The locals recognized her from the stories and were happy to see such a famous explorer. The community chief, an elderly man with gray hair and wise eyes, told Lisa about his problem. In their ancient chronicles, there was a prophecy stating that an artifact possessing great power is hidden in their lands. The artifact was lost many centuries ago, and its discovery could restore harmony and prosperity to their community. Lisa accepted the challenge and began to study the local chronicles and legends. She learned that the artifact was hidden in a cave located high in the mountains. But access to the cave was only possible through the ancient labyrinth, filled with traps and puzzles. The locals never dared to enter the labyrinth, fearing curses and dangers. Together with a few volunteers from the community, Lisa set off to the foot of the mountain where the labyrinth began. They took all the necessary supplies and maps with them. The entrance to the labyrinth was hidden, covered by dense vegetation. Only with the help of a local guide were they able to find it. Inside the labyrinth, there was an eerie silence. The walls were adorned with ancient drawings and symbols that told the stories of the feats and trials of those who had tried to find the artifact. Lisa, carefully examining every detail, began to realize that the labyrinth was not just a place of trial, but also a kind of test for courage and wisdom. The first trial they had to face was unexpectedly related to a dangerous, challenging, and perilous fire trap. They needed to solve the riddle to disarm the mechanism that released fire. Lisa recalled the ancient symbols she had seen in the chronicles and was able to decipher the code. The trap was disarmed and the group continued on their way. The next trial required the ability to navigate through space, as the labyrinth was full of false paths and dead ends. Here, Lisa was helped by the map she had studied before setting off. With their help, they were able to find the right path and avoid the traps. The third trial was the most difficult. They entered a hole filled with water. Wooden rafts floated on the surface of the water, but the way across them was extremely dangerous. They needed to calculate the weight correctly and distribute it so they wouldn't fall into the water. Lisa and her companions, using their skills and teamwork, were able to overcome this trial. When they reached the center of the labyrinth, a huge cave opened up before them. In its center stood an ancient altar, on which lay the artifact. It was a beautiful golden amulet, adorned with precious stones. Lisa carefully picked up the amulet and felt its powerful energy. When they returned to the community with the artifact, the residents greeted them with joy. The amulet was placed in a place of honor, and from that moment on, a period of prosperity and harmony began in the city. Lisa became an honorary member of the community, and her name was forever etched in the history of this place. After spending several months in this amazing country, Lisa decided to return home. Her heart was full of new experiences and knowledge. She knew what lay ahead. New adventures and discoveries await her. And once again, she realized that traveling is not just about searching for ancient artifacts, but also a journey to discover herself and the world around her. Upon returning to her hometown, Lisa continued her research and shared her stories with friends and neighbors. She wrote several books about her adventures, which became bestsellers. Her stories inspired people all over the world, and many began their own journeys, following her example. This is how Lisa's amazing story continued. The girl who wasn't afraid to follow her dreams didn't always move forward, despite all the difficulties and challenges. Her life became a true fairy tale. Despite all the difficulties and challenges, her life became a true fairy tale, full of adventures and discoveries. and every day brought her new amazing events and encounters. Several years passed, and Lisa transformed into a mature woman, wise and experienced. Her heart was full of joy and gratitude for all those moments that life had given her. She knew for sure that the real treasure wasn't gold or jewels, but the moments of happiness that we share with others